ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। अथ ध्यानम् ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यास विशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दाय तपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनिधि कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसनप्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगा ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं सर्वलोकैकनाथं सर्वलोकैकनाथं। Namaste everyone. Welcome to today's class. Thank you for accommodating. So today Dr. G will cover the most valuable person, Purushottama Yoga, right? The yoga of the ultimate person. Next slide, Doctor. Next slide, Doctor. This is the opening contemplation, home. Sorry, Doctor, the previous slide. Doctor, you're on mute.
Screen is frozen, Sureshji. If you have a copy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's frozen.
Yeah.
I think it is frozen. Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah, we can see. Yeah.
My internet is unstable.
Home, neither the brightness of the midday sun nor the glow of the full moon can light up the abode of the Supreme. The radiance of the Supreme is the only light there. Once this abode is reached, there is no coming back. The essence of the energy descends to the earth as the light of the sun, the glow of the moon, the flow of the breath in all, the digestive fire in all beings. Realize that this energy comes from the abode of the Supreme, home.
Thank you. Namaste. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Matre Namaha. Gomatre Namaha. Gita Matre Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Sabhaye Namaha. So pardon me if there is any inconvenience with my internet. There has been a tornado warning here and a lot of rain. So hopefully we will go through this without interruption. Saluting Ganesha, Mata Saraswati, and all the Guru Parampara. Saluting with reverence Mother Gita, Jagat Guru Krishna, and August Assembly. Let us get into this 15th chapter. 15th chapter is a Rasatmaka Adhyaya. And it needs a Rasa Hridaya to understand this, to enjoy this. Let us salute that Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalas Padikakratim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrevam Upasmahe. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Suddha Jnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prasantaya Dakshina Murtaye Namah. Dakshina Murti in the form of Jagat Guru. Griva Murti in the form of Jagat Guru. So Vishnoh Hridayam Shivaha. Shivasya Hridayam Vishnuhu. So there is no difference. Dakshinamurti, Shiva is a teacher. Hayagrini, Vishnu is a teacher. And that Sri Krishna Paramatma, the Jagat Guru, now is teaching us this great Adhyaya, Purushottama Prapti Yoga. Purushottama Prapti Yoga. And we have read this verse in Dhyana Shloka, Sarvo Upanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. We'll see the essence of Upanishads in Bhagavad Gita, and more so in this Adhyaya, Purushottama Prapti Yoga. You might have been to some great concerts, either Eastern or Western. And there comes a stage in the concert where both the singers, the presenters, and the audience are taken into a different world, alaukika anubhuti, alaukika rasanubhuti. So that's what you see in this chapter. If at all I fail to give the magnanimity of it, which I'm sure I'll leave you with some inadequacy, but please try to enjoy this for yourselves. Try to read this. Try to understand this. It's like eating gulab jamun. I may be telling the greatness of gulab jamun, but it is you who have to eat and enjoy, taste and enjoy. The chapter starts with a metaphor of tree. And tree is such a great creation in the world. Joyce Kilmer says, I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. And Adhyaya begins. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Urdhvamoolamadha Sakham Aswatham Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Vedasa Vedavit. The Blessed Lord said, there is an Aswatha tree, a banyan tree or people tree, which has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is a knower of the Vedas. So this is a Grandhi Shloka. Grandhi Shloka. So Grandhi Shloka means like a knot. And you have to untie the knot to understand this shloka. We have talked about Ganesh Maharaj has agreed to pen down Mahabharata with one condition, that Vyasa should say without interruption. And Vyasa Maharshi has also put in a condition that Ganesh Maharaj should understand and write, or understand and pen it down. So here and there, we see these difficult verses, which are difficult or without contemplating this verse. So here we see this vriksha, which is inverted, which is upside down, I'm not able to see you all, but I hope you can see me. Maybe someone can say yes.
Dr. G, there is a lag in the slides. So we are now on slide 1, which is the Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Yes, now we are back. Yes.
So Dr. G, I will
So
go.
now Shilpa Ji, yes.
I will
Shilpa
share
Ji.
the screen, if that's okay.
Yes, that would be great. Yes, let's do this. So now with this Grandhi Shloka, we begin. So Urdhvamolam Adhasakham. We're so used to looking at a tree. We're so used to looking at a tree with roots down into the earth and the branches up into the sky. But here is a tree which is upside down, which is inverted. And this is called Aswatha Vriksha. Aswatha is Avyaya Vriksha. Aswatha is a great Vriksha metaphor for this samsara. And Aswatha is a great metaphor of the creation. So Aswatha, Swa means tomorrow, manana. Aswaha means pasada manana, day after tomorrow. So Stha means the one which stays. Na means na. So na plus aswa becomes aswa. Na plus swa becomes aswa. So swaha na sthati, the one which is not going to be the same tomorrow. And that is this body, this jagat. Jayate gacchati iti jagat. Jayate gacchati iti jagat. The which is created and undergoes modifications is called. Also another meaning. So Ashwa, the horses were stationed here under the tree during the journey. So from village to village through forests and all. So that is one meaning. But here we take the first meaning, the one which is not the same tomorrow is Aswatha Vriksha. And its leaves are chandas. Chandas are Vedas. Chandas are the one which covers. So we are also covered by this Maya. So Vedas are the leaves of this tree. And the one who knows this tree is the knower. And this is also taken from Upanishad. Upanishad, we see this same Ashwatha, Esho Swatha Sanatanaha, Urdhamolam Avakshakaha. Avak means adhoshaka. Urdhamolam avakshakaha esha ashwatha sanatanaha esho swatha sanatanaha. So we see that in the Kathopanishad. And this people tree, banyan tree, parijata tree, and there are 5 other vrikshas. These are very, very auspicious vrikshas. So, Mulato Brahma Rupaya, Madhyato Vishnu Rupini, Agrata Shiva Rupaya, Vriksharaja Te Namaha. Vriksharaja, Ashwatha is called Vriksharaja. So, at the root, Brahma Rupini. In the middle, Vishnu Rupi. And at the top, Shiva Rupa. So Ashwathaya Varenyaya Sarvaishwariya Pradayane Namo Duswapnanasaya Suswapayane. This is another mantra for Ashwatha. If you remember, you actually get energized. If you see and if you actually live under the tree. This is another greatness scientifically, that the oxygen is released even in the night by this Ashwatha Vriksha, it seems. So this is in Hawaii, Kauai, where the Lord of Rudrakshas and Ashwatha Vrikshas are there. So we'll see the next slide. The next slide. I don't see the slide. Changed. Can someone speak? Are you seeing?
Looks like there is a lag, Dr. G. You should be able to see soon.
Yeah, so okay, lag on my side, yes. So this Vriksha concept we see in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam as well. So Ekayano asau dvipalatrimulah chaturrasaha panchavidhashadatma saptatvastavitapurva dashachati dvikagohi adivrukshaha. Ekayano asau dvipalaha trimulaha chaturrasaha panchavidaha shadatma saptatvaka astavitapaha navakshaha dashachadi dvikagaha adivrukshaha. So this adivruksha, as described in Bhagavatam, will talk about this creation, this jiva, jagat, and Paramatma. So let us see in the next slide each Eka Ayanaha. So there is just one abode, one tree. We can go to the next slide. Dvipalaha. Dvipalaha. So there are 2 fruits. The 2 fruits are Sukha and Dukkha. Sukha and Dukkha. Trimulaha. Trimulaha. The roots are 3. And we talked about that. We talked about that. 3 gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas. Chaturrasaha. Chaturrasaha. Dhamma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. The phalas. So Chaturrasaha. Then we have 5 senses. 5. Then Shad Atma. So Shad Vikari. Sapta Vitapaha. So there are 7 layers of bark. So we have the Sapta Dhatus in our body. And there are 8 branches, 8. So the shakhas, these 8 we have talked about. Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kammano Buddhi Revacha Ahankara Iti Yamme Bhinna Prakriti Rastradha. And then there are 9 holes, Navakshaha. And these, we have seen this Nava Dware Pure Dehi. So we're talking about this body. Dashachadi, covered by the 10 pranas, 5 pranas and 5 upapranas. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So these are the voice. Prana, upana, vyana, udana, samana. Then we have the upapranas as well. So these are the characteristics of this Adi Vriksha. And then there are 2 birds. There are 2 birds on this tree. Those 2 birds are one Jivatma and Paramatma. And that we have seen in Mundaka Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad, Dvasoparna Sayuja Sakhaya Samanam Parivriksha Jate Samanam Vriksha Samanam Vriksham Parishasva Jate. So that tree is a abode of 2 birds, the Jivatma and the Paramatma. Among those 2, Jivatma is the one which is enjoying this world. And Paramatma, Anashnan Abhichakashiti, the one who is Sakshi Bhuta. And then for the description of this Vriksha, Samsara Vriksha, so Adi Vriksha, Samsara Vriksha, Adhaschodhvam Prasuta Tasya Shakha, Guna Pravruddha Vishaya Pravala, Adhascha Molanyanu Santatani, Karmanubandhini Manushya Loke. Adhaha and Urdhva Prasuta Tasya Shakha. These branches are spread all over, up and down. And Guna Pravruddha, they're so nourished by the 3 modes, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, Guna Pravruddha. Vishaya Pravala, and the twigs, the objects of the senses, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandhas. Adhascha Molani, Anusantatani, Karmanubandhini, Manushya Loke. They go up and down, up and down, up and down. All these projections, all network is our karma phala, punya papa phala. And we'll see the next slide. Narupa masyeha nacha sampratishtha aswattamenam subirudha moolam asangashastri. This form is so gigantic and so magnanimous, so enormous that you cannot see the beginning of it, the middle of it, and the end of it. Nanto nachadir, nacha sampratishtha, anta end. Adi.
Just a few minutes. Hopefully, Dr. G will have his internet back. Thank you, everyone, for your patience.
Is this any better?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just moved closer to Is it better now? I'm sorry about all this.
Yes, Dr. G. We are good now.
Good. So narupamaseha tathopalabhyate nanto nachadir nacha sampratishta aswattamenam suvirudhamulam asanga shastrena drudhena chitva tatappadam tatparimargitavyam yasmin gatana nivartanti bhuyah tameva chadyam purusham prapadye yata pravrittir prasata purani. So we cannot see the beginning, the middle or the end of it. As you see this tree being cut, the tree being cut in these movies like Kantara movie or Pushpa movie, we're not talking about the destruction of the trees like that, but the metaphor is given in such a way that the tree can be cut using a shastra, an astra, a sanga shastra, the shastra of detachment. So the detachment, the detached engagement, as Swami Bodhananda says, detached engagement. With that asanga shastra, it is possible to cut this, to uproot this tree. And then tataha, that padam parimargitavyam, that has to be sought after. So padam is abode. Padam means word also. Padam means foot also. But padam here is that abode. That abode is to be sought after. Parimargitavyam. How? You are like a spark of the fire. And spark is the fire. Thou art that. Tattvamasi, tattvamasi. Think you are like a drop of water. And drop is the water. Thou art truth. Tattvamasi, tattvamasi. Think you are like a wave of the ocean, and wave is the ocean. Thou art infinite. Thou art infinite. Anantaha. Think you are like scent of the flower, and fragrance is the essence of the flower, the bliss absolute. Think, introspect, internalize, and ignite the inner light. Intend, invoke, invite, involve, and immerse in it. Think, concentrate, contemplate, and continue to meditate. Think of that, link with it, and you become one with it. Like that, Brahmara Kita Nyaya. You think of that, you link with it, and you become one with it. Turn the thoughts to higher spiritual heights. Burn all the deeds and churn all the thoughts. Learn scriptural science, unlearn all the nations. Yearn for the true essence and live in the eternal spiritual palace. Thou art that, Tattvamasi. And are there people like that? Yes, there are siddhas and sadhakas. So this talks about siddhas, and it also gives hints for sadhaka. So we have talked about that Ashwatha, Avyaya, Adi Vruksha, Samsara Vruksha. And we are talking about now the siddhas and sadhakas. Who are they? How are they? Nirmana moha jita sanga doshaha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kamaha dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sanyaihi gacchantya mudha padamavyayam tat. Those who are nirmana moha, those who are free from mana and moha, the ego and delusion. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, rajavam, visadhyana lakshanas, jitasanga dosha. So that nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nissanga dosha, jitasanga dosha, jitasanga dosha. Adhyatma nityaha, adhyatma nitya, adhyatma nityatvam. So we have seen that in Jnana Lakshanas. So we have seen that Adhyatma Tattva Nitya Darshanam. So Adhyatma Nitya Tattvartha Darshana Vinivritta Kamaha. We have seen in the Sthita Prajna Lakshanas how these Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Parthamanogatan Atmanyeva Atmanatushtaha Sthita Prajnasta Dochyate Dvandvair Vimuktaha. So nidvandvo, nitya sattvastho, niryoga kshema atmavan. So that dvandvas of sukha, sama dukkha sukha swastaha, samaloshtashma kanchanaha, shitoshna sukha dukkheshu, samasanga vivarjitaha. So these great sujita sanga doshas, then they reached my abode, so that avyayam abode, that imperishable, indeclinable abode of mine. And the next one, verse 6 and 7. We'll talk about verse 6 and also bring in verse 12, because both these talk about the same concept of Brahman, the supreme consciousness. And how is that? Na tad bhasayate suryo, na shashanko na pavakaha, yadgatva na nivartante, tadhama paramam mama. That abode of mine is such that it is so supreme, so ultimate. Having gone, having reached there, you won't come back. So you won't fall, you won't fail. And that is not illuminated by the sun you are looking at, not illuminated by the moon you know of. So this is a superficial meaning. The inner meaning is Surya is the representation for our eyes. Namah Suryaya, Adityaya, Akshitejase Namaha. We have seen that in Aditya Hridayam. So Akshitejasa. So you cannot see that with the human eye. And Shashanka, the moon, is a representation for our mind. So yato vacha nivartante aprapya manasasaha. So that you cannot describe with words. You cannot even think and define with mind. So that. So then also you see, yada dityagatam tejo jagad bhasayate khilam yachandramasi yachagno tat tejo vidhi mamakam. That tejas, that luminosity of Aditya and that luminosity of moon and Agni, the fire, that know as mine. So because of that, the eyes can see, because of that, mind can think, and because of that, the tongue can speak. So Agni, Vak, Surya, Drishti, and Chandra, Manas. So these, you cannot describe it with your words. You cannot see that with your ordinary human eyes, and you cannot think of just the mind which is wavering. It is only possible with Sukshmaya, Agreya, Buddhi. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. So that is how this Upanishadic verse is put into this verse 6 and verse 12. We'll go to the next one. So now we talk about Jivatma. We have talked about the Jagat. We have talked about Siddhas and Sadhakas. And we are now talking about the Brahman, the Paramatma, and Jivatma. So Rajaji, he says that as an introduction to Bhagavad Gita, he says that our Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads, they lend themselves a way to comment the way the great acharyas have commented in 3 different aspects: Dvaita, Madhvacharya; Advaita, Shankaracharya; Vishishtadvaita, Ramanujacharya. So I was so fortunate to see all these 3 great acharyas' places. So that Jivatma, now you see, Mama evamso jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatanaha, manashasthani indriyani, prakritisthani karshati. Oh Arjuna, my Amsa, a spark of mind. We have seen a spark of this in the 10th chapter. We have seen that. Ekam sena sthito jagat athava bahunaitena kimyatena tavarjana vistabhyahamidam krasnam ekam sena sthito jagat. So my Amsa now is expressed as this Jagat, this Jivatma. So Jivatma, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Then this Jivatma also, we don't know its end because Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidhi Anadi Ubhahu Api. So how this Jivatma? Manashasthani Indriyani. So Indriyas are 5. And the 6th Indriya is the Manas. So 5 Jnanendriyas and 1 that mind. Remember we talked about the tortoise. The tortoise. Yada samharate chayam purmonga niva sarvashaha indriyani indriyathebhyaha tasya prajna pratisthita. In that, the 4 legs and tail are 5 indriyas and the head is the manas. So that is how manashasthani indriyani prakritisthani. Prakritisthani, where are they situated? They are in the prakriti. Mahabhutanya hankaraha. Buddhiravyaktamevacha indriyani dasaikamcha panchachendriya gocharaha. There we talked about the Dashendriyas, but 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas. So we talk about, and then 5 the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Tanmatras, and then the 11th, Dasha Ekam. The 11th is a mind. So here, so 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, the 6th being the Manas, the next one. So this is how the Jivatma enjoys. And this, we have talked about this example of the circles for Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Advaita. So in Dvaita, you see 2 circles. The small circle is Jivatma. The bigger circle is Paramatma. Paramatma is Paramatma, Jivatma is Jivatma, so they can never be together. Jivatma can never be Paramatma. You just look at that, the tower, the Eiffel Tower, or Taj Mahal, or that great magnanimous, the wonder, Ascharyavat Pashyati Kaschidenam, Ascharyavat Vadati Tathaiva Chanyaha, Ascharyavat Chaina Manyashranoti, Srutvapyenam Vedana Chaiva Kaschit. That is how it is. And in Vishishtadvaita, that small circle is in big circle, but now engulfed with Maya, as you could see. So there is Maya, Jagat, Prapancham, and then there is a Prakriti, that is all what you see in that big circle, engulfing the small circle. So Jivatma, Prakriti, and Paramatma. And whereas in Advaita, so that small circle keeps on enlarging to the extent that there may be a small wheel of Maya to my left. There is in the square, it is represented. So there, but when that wheel also goes away, as we have seen, the veil is of 2 types. Dhumena vriyate vanni yadhadarsho malena cha yadholvena vruto garbha tadate nedam avrutam. So slowly, that avarana, vikshepa, mala is gone. And then the Jivatma is purified, expands and becomes one with the Paramatma. So that is how the Advaita is. Tattvamasi, Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that. And then the Jivatma realizes, Aham Brahmasmi. So here Hanuman once asked, we'll go back to the same slide. Hanuman once asked by Rama, what do you think the relation between you and me, O Hanuman? And Hanuman, without any hesitation, says, Deha bhavena tavadasoham. So that is the yellow one you can see. Deha bhavena tavadasoham. From body point of view, I am your servant. You are my master. That is a relation between us. But jiva bhavena aham tvadamsakaha. So from Jivatma point of view, I am an amsa, a part of you. But Atma bhavena tvamevaham. From Atma point of view, you are me and I am you. So that is how this Vishishtadvaita, Dvaita and Advaita are explained. The next one. So this God, you see and you admire, you adore, and you can only just talk about him as omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, the seed of all, the God in all, the origin of universe and harbor of the universe, the source of all and the force in all. God, generator, operator, and destroyer. the creator, sustainer, and dissolver, ground of our dwelling and the sound of our calling, the momentum beyond the theory of quantum, as explained by Einstein, the substratum in atom and subatom. Om, the ancient, unseen and manifesting, the first, the last, and the everlasting, the omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, the past, future, and present, smaller than smallest, larger than largest, incomprehensible even to the wisest. Anoraneyan, Mahato, Mahiyan, the existence, knowledge, and bliss, Sat, Chit, Ananda, the energy, the consciousness, the mass, the matter, so Prakriti, Purusha, and the time, Kala, the conversion factor, as explained by Einstein and every Eastern master, the absolute beyond the theory of relativity, and the Trinity, the reality, and the eternity. So that Brahman. Then how this Jivatma goes from body to body. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Shayanam. How that happens? Sariram yada vapnoti yachapyutkramati swaraha gruhit vaitani samyati vayurgandhani vasayat. So like Vayu, the wind god takes the fragrance, the pollen from place to place. So here you can see a bee taking the pollen from one flower to the other place. But Vayu, just the wind takes the fragrance. So Vasana, that's why it's called Vasanas. We have these Vasana, samskaras. This is a baggage that we come with. So that Sanchita Karma is Vasanas, they come. Deha Vasana, Shastra Vasana, Loka Vasana. So all these Vasana trayam. Vayuhu gandhaniva asayat, as the wind takes the fragrance from a place to place. So this Jivatma takes the Sukshma Sharira along with it from birth to birth, from body to body, from body to body. And that is how we have come a long way. Next verse, please. A long way. A long way that you cannot even trace back our roots. So the tracing back to our roots, the next slide, that we will see with all the parts of Sukshma Sharira, Shrotram, Chakshu, Sparshanam, Rasanam, Granam, Adhishtaya, Manaha, Ayam, Vishayan, Upasevate. So Shrotra, ears, Sparsha, the skin, Chakshu, eyes, Rasanam, the tongue, Granam, the nose. So with the help of these, the mind, Manas, enjoys the Vishayas. So that is the Sukshma Sharira we talk about. Then we'll go to the next slide. And then this goes from body to body. And as it is going, now you see, I mean, even with this little understanding, we can perceive a little bit of this. Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam vagunanvitam vimudhananu pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. With that jnana chakshu, you can see. But vimodha, as long as we're deluded, we do not see. So with that jnana chakshu, divyam dadamite chakshu, which is given by that master. So buddhi yogam, that buddhi is given by that Paramatma again. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. So that buddhi yoga, that jnana chakshu, that divya chakshu can see this. Utkramantam, the departing, sthitam while staying, bhunjanam while enjoying, gunanvitam with gunas. So as the life is going on, the Jnana Chakshu can perceive this. As the life is leaving the body, the Jnana Chakshu can perceive this. So we have seen that. Pashyan, Shunvan, Sprushan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan. So Guna, Guneshu Vartanta. So Naiva Kinchit Karomiti, Yukto Manyeta Tattva Vitta. So that these yogis, Pashyanti, Yatantaha Yoginaha Pashyanti. The striving, the practicing, the seekers, and the perfected ones can see this. But Akruta Atmanaha, so if we cannot contemplate. If we cannot discipline ourselves, we cannot see this. So the seer and the non-seer, this is the difference. Next one. This jiva goes a long way. Every word ఈ జీవుడు ఎవరికి ఏమోనో ఈ జీవుడు says Annamacharya. The living coming here and going away, my friend, and becoming of beings goes a long, long way indeed. Many births, many youths, many deaths, many years, many wives, many lives, many jobs, many herbs, many acts, many thoughts, many blooms, many dooms, many gains and many pains, many friends and many foes, many homes and many loans, birth after birth, life after life, death after death, grief after grief, joy after joy, pleasure after pleasure, yet not satiated, yet not at leisure. The living coming here and going away, my friend, and becoming of beings goes a long way indeed. That's why this jiva is also called Sanatanaha. Sanatanaha, until we realize, then it becomes all this is so easy to understand. Next one, please. So now it goes back and forth, as you can see, from Jivatma. Now Paramatma is again the glory of Paramatma is said. The power of Paramatma is said in this. Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayamyaha Mojasa Pushnami Chaushadhi Sarva Somo Bhutvara Satmakaha. I enter into each object and each planet, and my energy, they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. We have seen that. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yajnad bhavati parjanyaha yajnam. So that yajna karma samudbhavaha. So then where that this aushadhis come? Aushadhis. Oshadibhyo annam. So annam comes from, so bhutas come from annam. Annam comes from oshadhis. Then where do the oshadhis come from? So now we have seen this. Mahataha. Mahataha akasha. Akashat vayu. Vayor agnihi. Agner apaha. Adbhya prithvi. Prithvyam oshadibhyaha. Oshadibhyo oshadhi. Oshadibhyo annam. Annad bhavanti bhutani. So that is how the supporter, the nourisher is explained. And the same nourisher is in us as a digestive fire. So that Agni is in many forms. So that Agni is Vyoma Agni. I've seen Bhuta Agni. So Panchabhuta, one of them is Bhuta Agni. In Samudra, it's Badaba Agni. And in our like Chaitanya, in our Jivatma, it is as Jnana Agni. And in this body, in this Deha, it is Vaishwanara Agni. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Pranapana Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidam. Having become Vaishwanara, in the form of Vaishwanara, the Jataragni, the digestive fire in every being, I digest. Pachami means digest. Cook, Pachami means cook also, but digest the four kinds of stuff. What are the four kinds of stuff? They are Bhakshya, Bhojya, Choshya, Lehya. Bhakshya, the solids. You masticate, you bite and eat. You masticate and eat, Bhakshya. Bhojya, you don't have to masticate, so you have to swallow. So that. Then Choshya, the liquids as you drink. Then Lehya, the pickles, like, you just lick. So Lelihya se grasamana samantat, we have seen that in Vishwarupa. So these are the four kinds. But there are others also those who live on the earthly things. So either vegetarian or non-vegetarian. And those who live in water. Just water as a main source of food. Those who live as the air as a main source. Air as a main source, the snakes actually. So they are like Vatashana, they are called Vatashanas. And there are some some moths, not fire moths, but some bugs which actually nourish with fire. So this is how the 4 kinds of foodstuff is also for all the beings, But the popular explanation is what I told you: Bhakshya, Bhojya, Choshya, Lehya. We'll see the next one. Then I am also seated in every being, in everyone's heart, and we have seen this again and again. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashaya Sthitaha. Aham Adischa Madhyamcha Bhutanamanta Yevacha. And we'll see that in the 18th chapter again. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati. And we have talked about Ramana Maharshi saying this as Hridaya Kovara Madhye. So that aham ahamiti bhati, that one now Lord is explaining. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto mattas smrutir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvai rahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Sarvasya cha aham hrudi sannivishtaha. Sarvasya hrudi aham sannivishtaha. I am seated in all beings' hearts. And from me, because of me, mattaha, smruti, jnanam, apohanam. Smruti, memory. Apohanam, forgetfulness. If we cannot forget, imagine how many sorrowful things we had gone through. So we have to forget. So that forgetfulness is also because of him. That jnanam is because of him. Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vedyaha vedyam pavitram onkaraha ruksama yajurevacha. So we have seen that I am the Vedas. And I am the knower through the Vedas. And who? I am the writer and author of Vedas, Vedanta Kritam, Veda with Evacha Aham. And I am the knower of the Vedas also. So Vedaham Samatitani, Vartamanani cha Arjuna, Bhavishyani cha Bhutani, Mamtu Vedana Kaschana. So in fact, Krishna says sometimes that I know. Maybe Shuka knows, maybe Vyasa knows, but others I do not know whether they know me clearly or not. So Annamacharya says, Purushottamuda Vivu, Purushadhamuda Nenu. So Kanagunti, O Purushottama, Kanagunti. And here, you are the best among the men, and I am the worst and lowest human. It is not like sinner as we speak in other religions. So it is, I am, now you see how my descent has been. Urdhva moolam adhashakha. So that you are the best among the men, and I am on the least of the cadre. That's what Annamacharya says. That's the next slide. Purushottamuda Vivu, Purushadhamuda Nenu. You are the man of highest cadre. I am the mean man of lowest order. Where is the goodness in me on this earth? And you are the embodiment of godliness in truth. My list of mistakes is vast like an ocean, and you are an ocean of kindness and compassion. I do not know you and your divine power, but you never say no to me and pardon my errors ever. Countless are my errors, excuses and sins. Limitless are your blessings and the boons. I do not know your virtue and the true nature. You still value me and take care of my future. I live in the world of ignorance and with mercy, and you are the supreme effulgence with great mercy. I am finite. You are infinite. My thinking is limited. Your giving has no limit. I forget about you and fidget every day. You forgive me always and guide me all the way. So Purushottamuda Vivu, Purushadhamuda Nenu. So that Purusha and Purushottama is explained in next few verses. Dvavimau Purusho Loke Ksharaschakshara Yevacha Ksharas Sarvani Bhutani Kutastokshara Uchyate. Oh Arjuna, there are 2 kinds of Purushas that you should know to begin with. So one is Kshara Purusha and the other one is Akshara Purusha. Kshara, easy to understand. Ksharati, Nashyati, the one which decays is Kshara Purusha. So this Deha, we know that. So Deha is Shadvikaras. Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Nashyati. So Shadvikaras, the one which was there in the womb, the one which is born, and the one which grows and undergoes a change, and then slowly decays, apoptosis, and dies. That is Kshara. That is easy to understand. But what is this Akshara Purusha? It's not the Akshara in absolute form. We have to understand with the help of the commentaries. So, Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavo Dhyatma Uchyate. So, not that Akshara. Akshara in a relative term, and Akshara as long as we are ignorant. So, that is Jivatma. So Kutasthaha. Kutastha, Kuta means a heap. But Kuta means the one which goes with so many diversions and then so many crooked ways. So that is Maya, in other words, Maya. So Mayastha. Mayastha is what? Jivatma. So that Kshetra is Nashyati. So Kshetra, the one which decays. But Kshetrajna, in the Kshetra, as Jivatma, is Kutastha and relatively Akshara. But there is another one, Arjuna, that is a third. So Purusha. Purusha means Pure Seti iti Purusha. The one who stays in this Pura, Navadvara Pura, is Purusha. The one who is Purnatvat Purusha, the one who is because of his complete entirety nature, is Purusha. Pura Asit iti Purusha, the one who was there in the beginning, is Purusha. Purayati iti Purusha, the one who fills and infuses energy and life into us, is Purusha. So, Pure Seti iti Purusha, Pura Asit iti Purusha, Purnatvat Purusha, then Purayati iti Purusha. So, Uttama Purushastvanyaha Paramatmetyudahritaha Yolo Katrayama Vishya Vivartyavyaya Ishvara. There is another one, or that is Uttama Purusha. Uttama Purusha. So that we talked about. So, Mahataha Param Avyaktaha. Avyaktat Purusha Paraha. Purushanna Param Kinchidapi Nasti. Sakashta Sa Paragatihi. So we have seen that Indriyani Paranyahu. Indriyebhya Param Manaha. Manasastu Para Buddhi. Yo Buddhe Paratastu Saha. So that Saha is Uttama Purushaha. So is Anyaha. Who is he? So this is the Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti. We have seen that. So that one which holds, so the entire this Jiva Bhutas. Etad Yonini Bhutani Sarvani Tyupadharaya. We have seen that in the Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti in the 7th chapter. So Uttama Purushaha Anyaha, and is called Paramatma, and Yaha Lokatrayam Avishya. So 3 worlds, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka, are Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti Loka. So entering, pervading. So Vishnu, Bibharti. Bibharti is the one upholds, the one who nourishes. So that is Avyaya. So Avyaktoyam Achintyoyam Avikaryoyam Uchyate. So this Avyaya, Ishvaraha. So Ishvara, Ishitvat, because of that all controlling power. So Ishitvat, Ishvaraha. So that Paramatma, who is a creator, who is a sustainer, who is an upholder, is Uttama Purushaha. Uttama, Tama, great. Tara, Tama, Uttama. So the ultimate, Uttatama. Next one, please. So now, because I am above this Kshara and Akshara, Yasmat Ksharamati Toham Akshara Cha Uttamaha Ataha Asmi Loke Cha Vede Cha Purushottamaha Iti Pratitaha. Because I'm above this Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha, this the earthly body and the elements and the Jivatma, I am above that. I am that supreme consciousness. So that's why in this world and in Vedas, I am known as Purushottama. The last 2 are Phalashruti shlokas. So the 19th and 20th verse, Yomam evam asammudho janati purushottamam sasarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. So if anyone knows me, that asammudha, the one who comes out of the delusion and knows me as this Uttama Purusha, Purushottama, Saha Sarvavit, is a knower of everything. And then knowingly Now he praises me, he adores me, he actually is becoming one with me. Sarva bhavena o Bharata, sasarvavit bhajati mam. The last verse. Iti guhyatamam shastram idamuktam maya nagha etad buddhva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha Bharata. So iti, thus, guhyatamam shastram. So this is, thus, this guhyatamam, this, the most secretful shastram. Shastra is shasati trayati. So shamsanatvat. So the one which ordains us, and the one which explains us. Shamsanatvat, Vyaktikaranattvat, then Shasanatvat, the idam, maya, all this, O Anagha, O sinless one, maya uktam, it is said by me. And knowing this, etat, in this way, buddhva, buddhiman syat. So may you become wise. And also kritakritya bhavet. Kritakritya is the fulfiller of all the things in the world. The one who has achieved the perfection, completing all the endeavors that has been taken up. So kritakritya bhavet. So kritakrityascha Bharata. Buddhiman syat. Kritakritya syat. Etat buddhva. So iti. So usually we have talked about when we begin atha. It starts atha prathamodhyayaha. We say atha vyavasthitan drustva dhartarashtan kapidvajaha. So we have seen that atha in the beginning. And then iti, usually it is the end of it. So Om Tat Sat iti, Om Tat Sad iti, Srimad Bhagavad Gita su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama or Purushottama Prapti Yogo Nama or Prasada Yogo Nama. So Panchadashodhyaya. It is also called Purushottama Yoga. It is also called Purushottama Prapti Yoga, and it is also called Prasada Yoga, and it is worshipped and adored as Kalasha Adhyaya, like the ultimate, the crest jewel in Bhagavad Gita. And the rest now are called Parishishta Adhyayas. So the explanation which has been left over. So here we shall stop and take up any questions or comments and then engage the discussion. Sorry about the internet connection, but I hope it's been recorded and heard well.
Yeah, we could hear it well, Doctor. Do we want to do the Gita Mahatmyam, Doctor?
Yeah. We should, please. And then your poem as well.
Yeah, okay. Gita Mahatmyam, Gita Shastramidam Punyam, Yappatet Prayata Puman, Vishno Padamavapnoti, Vayashokadi Varjitaha, Gita Dhyayana Shilasya, Pranayama Parasya Cha, Naiva Santihi Papani, Purva Janma Kritani Cha, Malanirmochanam Pumsam, Jalasnanam Dhine Dhine, Sakrit Gitam Basisnanam, Samsaramalanashanam, Gita Sugita Kartavya, Kimanye Shastra Vistaraihi, Yaswayam Padmanabhasya, Mukha Padmad Vinishrita, Bharatamrita Sarvasya, Vishnor Bhaktrad Vinisritam, Gita Gangodakam Pitva, Punarjanmana Vidyate, Sarvopanishado Gavo, Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha, Partho Vatsas Sudhir Bhokta, Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantrastasya Namani Yani, Karmapyekam Tasya Devasya Seva, Kayena Vacha Manasendriyeva Buddhyatmana Va Prakrite Svabhavat, Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai, Narayanayeti Samarpayami. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Supreme. In this world, there are two, the perishable in the body and the imperishable as the inner self. Wait, there is one more. Praised by the scriptures, it is that supreme, that's beyond the imperishable, the Lord of everything, entering the universe and supporting it from the inside as life, energy, or movement. The wise with their inner eye realize the truth of the supreme, the source of all wisdom.